So the go home Raw for SummerSlam is in Pittsburgh on July 28th. Little do we know, 11 months later to the day, you're going to set all kinds of history in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It features you on the show twice. You team with Steve Austin as Dude Love to take on the Godwins. It goes to a count out because Owen interferes. And then later, you find yourself in a cameraman outfit and you're going to attack Hunter Hearst Helmsley before his match against Vader. China's going to make the save. You and Hunter are brawling in the stands, but you're dressed as a cameraman. I loved that. Thought it was super creative. Is that a Vince Russo idea?
I wish I could tell you. I don't think it was the first time that it had been done either. I think there'd been a few.
Well, I loved it.
Yeah, thanks. I don't think it was the first. I'd be happy to find out that it was, that other people emulated that, but I think it was a case of us copying an idea that already worked. It is a great idea. You know, you're there and you got the camera covering up and you're sneaking out under the cover of darkness. Your heartbeat is, quick because of the adrenaline. And then you have to make that happen. It's nerve-wracking, but it's really rewarding. So I don't know if it was Vince Russo. Vince Russo had some great creative ideas, and a lot of the things that did work for my character were Russo initiatives. But I can't tell you for a fact whose that was.
Talk to me about brawling in the stands. You know, we see most of the action happen between the confines of the squared circle, but every now and again, the story or the match will call for you guys to brawl amongst the fans.
Yeah.
And that feels like that's a tough spot because you're trying to serve two masters. You're trying to make it look good, but also not hurt anyone because, I mean, families are there and you don't want to bump into someone. And I know that that's probably not the first thing you think about as a performer, but I'm sure the company's thinking about it. What's the magic, or what are the rules of thumb of brawling through the crowd?
Well, I remember going on my first tour for All Japan in 1991, and I thought, based on Brody, running out as Hansen, there were 4 or 5 of the monster heels did that. And Japan brawled among the audience, and audience members knew if they got in the way, they would get hit. So that made those arrivals seem much more authentic. And I'll say that, given all the pyro in the world, nothing is dramatic to me as a Bruiser Brody entrance in All Japan, especially when they had the Zeppelin song, Valhalla.
Sure.
After a while, they had to go to a generic version of Valhalla, so it wasn't quite as good. Still, the idea that if you were in the way, you were going to get hit. But I found out about 2 weeks into my tour, the guy who did the translations, I can't remember his name, came over and said, Cactus on, maybe, I don't want to, he sounds, but you don't want to belittle the guy's English far better than my Japanese. But he said I was hurting fans.
Wow.
So I had to stop. So I was like, well, I'll take the bump that maybe was best done when Steve Williams whipped me over the guardrail. And I did a alteration on it with Paul Orndorff that gets a lot of numbers.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Anytime goes up. But those type of bumps could wipe out a couple rows of chairs and could take out innocent bystanders. So I had to be careful not to hurt people. I was always cognizant of that, to the point where I got in a shouting match with Sandman after a match in Middletown because I didn't think he was showing enough concern for the welfare of the people out there. So you have to look like you don't care about their health while obviously not wanting to hurt anybody out there. I liked it. I liked brawling in the crowd. When WWE had Jim Dotson as head of security, and then everywhere after that, you felt safe. Like you felt like you were going to be protected. So I liked it. I liked the realism it brought. And you drop in any one of a standard wrestling move, backdrop, back body drop, suplex, and you do it outside on the floor. And it just brought a feeling of realism to it.